So it is Saturday night. It is now, it's 7:40, 7:45, something like that. And hopefully you recognize where we are. We're back at Sea Turtle Inc., back at the facility. And we are finally excited to share with you our little surprise. It's actually, looks like it's coming in the parking lot here. So let's give it a chance. And then you're going to get to see our surprise. You can see our staff, our ambassadors here to join in the excitement.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So as we go to unveil the big surprise, we're going to let our rehab and animal care staff go in and give you a peek at what we've been waiting on. So I appreciate y'all. We have so enjoyed all of your guesses overnight and all of the things all day that you were guessing about what the surprise might be. Some of you were close. Some of you were nowhere close, but we loved watching the guesses anyway.
You want me in?
Yeah. All right, we're going to follow our medical care team here, along with all of our staff and ambassadors. Now, our ambassadors, if you're wondering what that is, are volunteers that spend more than 300 hours a year with us. They are basically employees that volunteer so much time. So as an ambassador, you get a sneak peek into the back workings of Sea Turtle Inc. and everything we do here, including really special moments like this. So we're going to follow our rehab staff here, who very shortly are going to remove the lid and show everybody our exciting surprise. And hopefully the staff and can get a good view and see. Oh, everybody wave, wave. We've waited all day for this. So the staff is here and ready to see. Everybody wave. So it's all of the staff and our ambassadors here while we work to remove. Okay, and what you're looking at here is Casey, Emily, Kelly, and Chris, who are all part of our medical care team. And it looks like they're about to remove the lid. They're going to remove the lid here any minute. And this is a beautiful hawksbill sea turtle. This is our newest resident, and her name is Bagua. And Bagua just spent all day today on a private plane coming to us all the way from Puerto Rico. So I want to make sure that the staff can see her and can enjoy this really special moment of welcoming Bagua to the Sea Turtle Inc. family. So if you're tuning in with us tonight, you're going to have the privilege of watching Bagua enter the water for the very first time here at Sea Turtle Inc. So we are going to stay live. We're going to watch our amazing medical care team. We're going to watch her get intaked and her blood draw, and then we're going to watch them put her into her very own tank here at Sea Turtle Inc. So I'm going to move right over this way because this is a great opportunity for us to talk for a minute about how we ended up with Bagua. So Bagua, this is Dr. Amy. You all know Dr. Amy.
Hi, guys.
So Dr. Amy has taken the lead in getting the transport of Bagua taken care of. Bagua came to us from Puerto Rico, right, Amy?
She sure did.
So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about the process of getting her to us from Puerto Rico.
Sure. So we've been working with Dr. Tony at the Caribbean Manatee Conservation Center.
Right.
And he has been absolutely wonderful to work with. He's very passionate about what he does, and he was very passionate about finding Bagua a new home, a forever home.
Nice. Now, Chris, I heard you take her first weight with us. What is her first weight?
She's coming in at 115.2 pounds.
115.2 pounds. So she's a healthy girl. So how did Bagua end up in Puerto Rico, Amy?
Yeah, so Bagua has a really interesting and sad story. She actually was poached first, and she spent a lot of time at the Puerto Rico Zoo, and then she went from the Puerto Rico Zoo to the Caribbean Manatee Conservation Center, and that's where she's been for about 5 years or so before she came to us.
So, something that we believe strongly in here at Sea Turtle Inc. is education around animal welfare and conservation. And Bagua has a really tragic story.
She does.
And I think that's going to be an important part of the work we do here. So Bagua is totally blind in one eye, and she has lost 80% of her vision in another eye.
Yeah.
Because of damage done to her by poachers. So, Amy, can you talk a little about what that was?
Yeah, so what happened is a wire was passed through the eye, so connecting the two eyes, which blinded her in that one eye and almost fully blinded her in that other eye.
Yeah, and this is just a really terrible story of the cruelty that can happen in poaching endangered animals, specifically sea turtles, and the cruelty that comes. But she's a great story of resiliency.
Yes.
Because not only is she very healthy, as you saw by her weight,
Yeah.
but she has adapted and is able to do all of the things that a normal sea turtle can do, with the exception of that disability around her sight.
Yes.
But she spent 10 years in Puerto Rico, so the first 5 or so at the zoo, and then with the manatee organization there with Tony.
Correct.
Great.
Yep.
So where we ended up at today is a long trip between Puerto Rico and here. And that happened in a few really interesting ways, including a private plane and some great contacts. So with us today is one of our very favorite board members and a longtime ally of Sea Turtle Inc., Mr. Sam Patel. So Sam, I think you woke up at 4:30 this morning with the rest of us. Tell us about the day getting Bagua here.
Yeah, no, it was a fairly good day in terms of departing Puerto Rico. She was definitely excited at takeoff and all of the descents that we had today, but she's made it, and I think she was a great passenger, and she's going to love it here.
I agree. One of the really amazing things about this story is we at Sea Turtle Inc. believe strongly in providing a home and a resident for her, but the logistics of getting her to us is a complexity that we just were not able to handle. So we're extremely lucky and grateful to have a board member like Sam Patel that could connect the dots and make friends and get on a plane and make a quick trip to Puerto Rico to bring a turtle back. That can't happen to you every day.
No, it doesn't. It was really great. And what was really cool to see with Sea Turtle Inc. is just all the friends and assets throughout the nation, right? So we had individuals in Florida, individuals in New Orleans, of course, our teammates in Puerto Rico. So it was great to see that from that side while we were flying. Every place that we stopped, there was always a professional ready to take care of Bagua. So that was really great.
Thank you so much, Sam. So what we're doing now is the intake process. So this is what we're doing to just make sure that we have a good idea about the health and the condition of Bagua. And she's probably tired. I know we're tired.
Oh, sure
Amy,
are.
what time did your eyes open this morning?
A little before 5 a.m.
That's right. About 4:43 is when the first set of messages started coming through, when Bagua started making her way to the airport.
Yes.
And it's been a very long day since then, and we're super excited that she is here and with us. Our Director of Animal Care, Chris Gorman, and his staff are, it looks like, working to take her first blood draw with the organization. So I'm going to give Chris a minute to get settled and then see if he can multitask and talk to us at the same time and tell us a little bit about what we're looking for and what we're doing with Bagua. As you can see, she's very relaxed. She's had a long day. Sam said she was very active most of the day in the plane. So we're going to let them get settled in and get started, and then Chris is going to explain to us what's happening. All right, so we're going to do a blood draw on Bagua, correct?
That's correct.
So talk to me a little about what they're doing while Chris is drawing the blood, and then we'll talk through to him.
Yeah, sure. So we're going to make sure that we take a blood draw so that we can run it for a lot of different samples just to get a good idea of her health and make sure that, she's healthy and doing well. And we always take it from a vein in the neck usually because it's the easiest to get to and is usually pretty successful on being able to get that blood so we can take our samples and make sure that she is healthy and
great. And that's something that we do in a normal cadence to make sure, just like you would with a human patient, where they're able to make sure that she's doing well and that she's healthy.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Every one of our patients that comes into the hospital is going to have a blood draw multiple times. We check our residents with blood draws several times throughout the year. A very, very typical procedure.
So it's a physical exam, just like a person would do when they go to the doctor.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense. One of the things that our staff was so excited about to get a Hawksbill is, we love our Kemp's Ridley here. We do. But a lot of people think that the Hawksbill is the prettiest of the turtles.
I don't know. I'm partial to those Kemp's Ridleys.
I know, but they are just gray and brown.
I know.
And this one's real pretty.
They are beautiful.
We're excited to see her. Can you talk a little bit about their shell and what makes them unique?
I would love to. Yeah, so they have a really beautiful pattern on their shell, and they have, just like all their other sea turtles, they have scutes, or those kind of scales that are on the top of the shell, and they overlap, which is really unique and interesting. And the color and the pattern on their shell actually makes part of the reason why they're poached so much is because that shell is so beautiful.
She is a pretty thing. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts on adaptation given her blindness.
Sure. So we've been talking with Dr. Tony, and given the extent of the blindness, she is still able to see just a little bit. And she's been able to feed, especially off of some tongs, so it does usually take her a little bit longer to feed, but she's still able to find that food. However, she wouldn't be able to do that in the wild.
Yeah.
So that's part of why she's with us forever.
Makes sense. And we can give her a good home, protect her from that.
That's the reason why we try to get that photo. It's always a little bit harder with the heavier turtles, but we find a way.
All right, well, I'll let you get to it, and we'll make sure everybody gets a good view to see her go into her roommate tank with Cowgirl. All right. And from back here, you get a wonderful view of her beautiful shell and why it's so unique.
Oh, yeah, you do. She is a beautiful turtle. I am so excited she's finally home.
What else would you rather do on a Saturday night?
Not really anything.
Nothing.
This is a great Saturday night.
Best way to spend a Saturday.
I think we have two of our animal care staff that are getting in the tank now to help with the
so,
transfer of her into her tank.
We're going to get over so Samwana can get a good view because we are lucky enough to have animal care staff in the tank already. And we'll make sure that she has the best possible view. So there's Emily, our life support systems manager. And now we're going to let Bagua go into her tank for the first time. We're going to run around the side right there. So we're going to get a good view for Miss Taylor up here so that she is out of the way. And then we'll be able to see a bird's eye view of Bagua's first swim in her new tank with Cowgirl. So we'll all move out of the way and let them do their thing. They're asking approximately how old we think Bagua is.
We think she's probably about 10 years or so.
And do we think that because of her size?
We do. And how big she was when she first came into the Puerto Rico Zoo.
All right. With that, we are ready. We are ready to go. And this is, as you can see, a team effort as we watch this really amazing moment as we watch this really amazing moment of her swimming in her tank for the very first time. This is such a moving moment and such a great opportunity. And there she goes. So for those of you that know how this process works at Sea Turtle Inc., you will be able to come in and adopt Bagua starting tomorrow. So a ceremonial adoption is a critical part of the way that we're able to fund the mission and the way that we're able to continue to do conservation work worldwide. And you can do that online and in our facility. If you are within driving distance of South Padre Island right now, you're going to want to come see Bagua in the next couple of days as she gets used to her new home. So you can see her floating and getting used to her new tank. And that's just something that happens as she to the new depth of the tank and the new salinity of the water here. So one of the things that you may be able to see in the video is our animal care staff is still inside the tank with her, and our director of animal care is up on the beam watching her. And we actually also have cameras on her for the night as we watch her adjust and get used to the new water.
Exactly. It does take a little bit of a time for her to get used to it, so we will be watching her for a little while, but she is doing great.
So I think one of the questions was, is someone going to watch her tonight? And the answer is yes. People are going to watch her, and so is technology. So we have actually rigged her tank with live cameras that we can access from anywhere, including our homes and at the facility. So as she gets used to her new home, we'll absolutely continue to watch her over the next couple of days as we watch her get used to her new facility. She has had a pretty enormously stressful day.
Absolutely.
With, our human passengers are exhausted from their 14-hour flight. So Bagua is too. So when you're introducing a sea turtle to her new habitat, what are we looking for?
Yeah, so we're just looking to make sure that she is, she's going to be floating a little bit, and that's okay. She's going to start to swim around a little. She has had a really stressful day. It's been a very long flight. So she's, like many of us, probably very tired, and it's going to just take her a little while to get used to her new tank and her new surroundings. But we will keep a very close eye on her.
So I think one of the questions from people watching is if she's floating because she's stressed. And the likelihood's probably yes. She's had a very long day in a box for 14 hours. And, just like with your own dogs and cats and pets at home, when you transport them somewhere else, that's an exhausting process. For them, it's physically and emotionally tiring. And that's something to be expected. And that's why we're here. To make sure that she feels safe and that she feels like she's well taken care of while she acclimates to her new tank.
Absolutely.
And that could take a couple of days to a week.
Oh, for sure. Yep, it could take her a while to get used to it. Again, we're in a very different tank, a very different location, a very long flight. So just
And
just
you
like
can see her flippers start to move. And because we've now made new besties in Puerto Rico,
That's right.
Tony has just interjected into the chat to say they're pretty sure she was born in the year 2000.
Oh, great.
Okay. Just so you know. I think what you just saw is her moving her head up to take her very first breath in her brand new pool.
Wonderful.
In her brand new tank. So we just love her already, and I know all of you do as well. She is not only beautiful, but she deserves all of the easiness of life after a really rough start, and we're exceptionally grateful for our partners in Puerto Rico.
We sure are. At the Caribbean Manatee Conservation Center.
Yes,
Dr.
if
Tony
you are,
has been a great partner.
If you are taking a family trip or going to Puerto Rico, you are going to have to go see. They have some of the best looking manatees.
Yeah, they
and
do.
You're about to get a bird's eye view of her first breath. So with that, we're going to turn the lights off and we're going to let Miss Bagua have a very peaceful, quiet first night. So we are so grateful that you joined us and that you stuck with us all day today through our guessing of what was coming. And if you are